Viola, Nueva York, 1951. Viola es uno de los pocos creadores de imágenes que han superado la seducción tecnológica para convertirse en un investigador muy personal. Viola extrae de la cámara lo que el ojo humano no puede captar, va más allá de la mirada. Para el artista norteamericano, la cuestión fundamental es el conocimiento del yo para poder entender la verdad. Infatigable viajero del desierto, estudioso del primitivismo y de la cultura oriental, Viola es, al mismo tiempo, experto conocedor de los últimos soportes tecnológicos. Bill Viola afirma: todas las imágenes viven en la mente y corazón de la persona que ha visto la obra. Esta no se encuentra en la pantalla. Así, en el tríptico de Nantes, el artista ha grabado la agonía de su madre, el juego entre muerte y vida. El poder mediático de la imagen alcanza aquí toda su fuerza.
I think for me the most important thing to leave people with is awareness. Awareness of themselves, awareness of the world around them, awareness of their own, the capabilities of their own bodies, and that the idea that if they come in to see this work and they have ideas about the specific pieces, and some of those ideas that they have might be different than things I might say about it, that doesn't matter, that their idea is right. And that if an art critic comes into the piece and has his or her opinions about the work, and someone else comes into the piece who doesn't really look at contemporary art very much, and they have a connection with it in some way, that those two things are equal. What the art critic said is no more important than what someone who just walks in off the street. The only valuable, most important thing is that it's a kind of an honest experience that people can use. I want people to use what I do. If they can't use it in their life, they don't need it. But if they can use it in some way, if it helps them realize something about their life, or most common thing is people whose parents have died, the way my mother passed away, I have some images of my work, they find there's a kind of an affirmation in some of the works. That to me is the whole purpose of what art is. I think for me, I've always had an ambiguous relationship to language. If you look at almost all my works, there's no direct language in most of it. In some of the pieces there are. There's a work here called Slowly Turning Narrative with a Voice That's Speaking, going around and around. Even that, though, I don't consider to be regular speech as much as it's some kind of mental inner dialogue, not with a person, but with yourself. So in general, there's no speech or language in my work. And I've always felt that language can cover over the direct experience of an object. And this has been written about by philosophers and both Eastern and Western.
One works, one lives, the one who gets, the one who rests, the one who stays, the one who fills, the one who stays, the one who rises, the one who climbs, the one who deludes, the one who isolates,
When I shoot something with my camera, that's like seeing. And when I make editing, that's like thinking. Because unless you're talking about instinct or reflex, someone throws something at you and you jump like this, you don't think about that in a way intellectually. But if we're not talking about those basic responses, then most of human thinking comes after the perception. You see something, you experience it, then you think about it, or it makes you remember something, or some kind of mental process happens. And it's very much the same relationship between taking my camera out somewhere, recording something, coming back to the studio, putting it together. What I like to think of, really what I'm doing is creating thought spaces, spaces that are structured not on architectural principles, but are structured on temporal or time principles, which are themselves a movement. Even though there's no objects in the room moving, you have this image that's changing, and that is parallel and connected to the mind, which is always moving and changing its position. Well, I think because when you're watching something on TV, it's coming at you at the moment and it's going to disappear, and there's no way to hold it. That is the power of television. If you think of the essence of TV being these live broadcasts of the United States starts bombing Iraq, or this guy walks on the moon, to be able to experience that live is fantastic. But I think the ability to hold something, to see something more than once, which videotape lets us do, to live with it, because we are not stationary, stable beings. The only time you're stationary and stable is in death. Life is about change and movement and growth. If you go through the normal education system in our cultures today, and by this I mean Europe and America, the whole Western culture, and even Japan and countries in the Far East, you are put through a system that emphasizes rational thinking over spontaneous, intuitive expression. And it emphasizes a kind of a rational distance, an analytical distance, or a process of analysis to understand something, rather than a process of being and feeling to understand something. And so we come to the point where you're taught not to feel about things. And I don't just mean sentimental feelings, which is easy to do with these stupid things on TV and in the movies, but I mean real deep feelings about something. And we're taught not that is separate from knowledge. We keep the emotional side away from knowledge, and we keep the physical side, the gym classes, the physical classes in sports, in school, is separate from the mathematics and history and stuff. And I think that's wrong. That's completely imbalanced. That's why we have such a crazy imbalanced life right now. And I think the role of people, whether they be artists or any creative worker, and I don't put anybody over anybody else. I don't think artist is more important than anybody else. But that our work today, whatever your creative work is, to me, trying to put those pieces back together to make the whole again, because it was broken open.
I stared out the window for a long, long time. It finally occurred to me, as the traffic lights changed, that the earth is round and streets lead to nowhere. No one can take you if you don't want to go. But if you decide it's where you want to be, electronic ideals will comfort your mind. Electronic realities will cause you to dream of mad material.